We are going to show you how we made the big profits described on the Apple page. It's not as hard as you might think. You probably suspect that it requires pinpoint timing accuracy and many hours of study for you to be successful. Our CD course will show you that it's not true. This is a chart of Apple stock over a particularly positive 6-month period. As a strong growth stock, you would have done nicely if you owned it during the 6 months under discussion. Even if you aren't a chart reading expert, you can tell this stock went up during the time in question, and if you were invested in it, you would have made $100 or 41%. But to make that gain, you would have had to time your entry and exit perfectly. The red arrows point to down cycles. Some are bigger than others. You could have been required to hold it through all of those gyrations to get the full profit, which sometimes requires nerves of steel. But here's the good news. Without making it a full-time job and no sleepless nights, you can make a lot more money. Using the same stock in the same time period with just a few more hours of effort, it's not hard, it's not complex, but it requires a little education. Our CD course will give you that education, the equivalent of a college course in how to make money. Here's how we approach the same time period. We would place several 1-month positions during the 6-month time period. We will do one at a time, which would take separate actions for each position, and each would end before the next one begins. We make money as long as the stock value does not enter the area limited by the dashed box. Each box is active for 2 to 4 weeks. Our positions are placed below the current market price, leaving us room for future price fluctuations without endangering our profits. We strive for precision in our timing, although it's not required for our trade to be successful. We made 35% in the month of September, and we have 5 months to go. Can you see that we make money when the stock moves up and moves sideways or even moves down? You can learn to do this yourself if you take our CD course. There are many variations on the strategies we just discussed because everyone has different goals and risk tolerance. The variations all have one common thread. They remove the feeling that you are on a roller coaster ride and place you in charge of your investments. Let's look at the month of December again. This is the way we would recommend setting up the trade in our Trader's Advisory. The red arrows show a comfortable price margin between the stock price and the position parameters. But suppose you're more conservative than we are and want less risk. To make this a more conservative trade, we would move the parameters of the position so that the gap between the current stock price and the transaction parameters would be larger, as shown with the new gap of the red arrows. Your profits are less, but so is the risk. An 18% income in a month is nothing to sneeze at. If your temperament allows you to take a larger risk, you could adjust the position so that the current stock price is closer to the transaction price. The distance between the red arrows is now very small. Notice by moving the transaction closer, our profit goes up substantially. This transaction is also riskier than the two just discussed. The important point is that we will show you how to control your risk and rewards for every transaction. You will learn how to adjust any strategy to your own temperament. If you want less activity, you can use longer time frames, 2, 3, or more months between positions. Your annual gains would be smaller, but still would generate very nice returns. Here's another variation on the same strategy: more frequent activity using weekly options. This is a relatively new tool, and we use them often. They make almost as much money as the monthly options, and they will allow you to control your risk even further. Let's look at the December month again. The final gains for a month using weekly options can be very high, and these are still very low risk and conservative trades. We don't do high risk trading, and we don't do day trading. In 3 years, we have never had a losing month. Take action now. You can't start making money until you take our course. Thank you for listening. Go to the prices page and sign up now.